Good evening. Welcome to WFUZ-TV, the People's Voice podcast. I'm Blair Castro, here with Thomas Jenkins, and we have Mr. Mathious Robinson in the studio with us today. He's running for Escambia County Commissioner, District 2. Mr. Robinson, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So, how long have you been in Pensacola, and what motivated you to run for County Commissioner?
I've been in Pensacola my whole life. What motivated me was a lot of things, actually. Basically, just seeing how the community is. Me, growing up from a younger age to who I am now, seeing that a lot of things didn't really change from that period. I understand the working challenges, from families and stuff, and that's kind of like put me in the center of a lot of things because I've always been behind the scene. I never was a front forward person, but facing the challenges that most of working families face, and me facing incarcerations and stuff, that helped me understand people. Because when you in that particular situation, you how to say it, you meet all types of personalities. And when you're in front of these personalities, you got to understand how to, be able to identify and know how to talk to these people without offending, or because, it's just like I said, so many different personalities in there. So that helped me, learn how to help people. And I'm also a photographer, videographer. I run visual thought production. So basically, me working with people, me giving out resources to the people, me being a community advocate, me working with the youth, that all plays a part of why I'm here now. I want the youth to have opportunities that I didn't have growing up. And being behind the camera, you get a different perspective of life. So I spent a lot of time with people and just learning people, building that relationship, and it just got me to wanting to run now because everybody's kind of feeling the pressure right now of what's going on in America. And I'm just stepping up because it's time for fresh energy. It's time for a different perspective. It's time to move money hungry people out the way. So that what kind of got me to running. I've been doing community work for a long time. And feeding the homeless for like 14 years, off record, because I never film the stuff I do.
Yeah, that gets old watching people do that for the clout.
Yeah, I don't. So I've been doing it 14 years, just doing a lot of things behind the scenes, making things move, helping, basically putting the pieces in that our community is missing. Sitting back, just okay, how can I help my community more? How can I be that person, to help shape things? And
So one of the things you mentioned, you said facing incarcerations. Can you talk a little bit about that experience and how that kind of shapes where you're at now?
Well, being incarcerated, is either gonna make you or break you. It ain't no in between. And when you're in there, you have plenty of time to reflect on, what you did, what you could have did better. You gotta look that man in the mirror because there ain't no running from it. And being around all these different type of people, you have to be able to know how to talk and how to communicate.
Yeah, you learn respect real fast.
You gotta learn. You have to learn it real fast in there. So that's a tool that I gained and I use out here because I can sit and talk to a person maybe 5-10 seconds and kind of somewhat know what I'm dealing with until I start talking more with them. But that's a skill that you learn in there, because you have to understand who you're dealing with and who you're talking to. And even, like I said, even in there, I was helping, you know. I was helping people on their cases. I was doing a lot of things. I was doing a lot of reading. It just shaped me to who I needed to be, you know. I embrace it. You know, I truly embrace it, because, like I said, if I didn't go through that situation, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. So,
can I ask, if you don't have to answer if you're not comfortable, how long you were, and were you in Escambia County or some other place?
it happened in Escambia County. So I did 3 years,
Wow.
but I've been out, getting ready to go on 6 years. So in that period of time, I don't help so many people get resources. I don't help several businesses. I don't help several organizations, even individuals, either grow their business, grow their organization, or just creating a milestone in their life. And like I said, I'm that person that's trying to put in these missing pieces to make a community whole.
I went to jail for 4 days, and it was at the new jail in Escambia.
Yeah.
And the things I saw in 4 days was very eye-opening for me,
Yes.
because I had never been in trouble before, and I actually worked for the sheriff, and I was somebody, my background is in law, and I was never on that side of the law, and then I was, and it was a much needed experience, I think, because it kind of shocked the reality of what happens.
That's what it does.
Yeah, because you might think one thing. I was a very, back the blue, I love the police type person, and then I was unjustly arrested and ended up having everything. I wasn't even arraigned. I got like an apology and everything. And that happened. That's that's my privilege show in there, to have that happen to me, because I know other people, and I saw it myself, that have way more struggles and are never going to get the same treatment that I got, and even my treatment wasn't that great. So it's kind of an experience that I think I needed to help me grow as a person. So I can imagine the length of time and everything you had to go through in 3 years. That's
it was stressful, but it definitely brings accountability. It strengthens your mind if you use the time wisely and not just be in there just willy-nilly.
Yeah.
You got to make the time worth it. You have to be in there educating yourself. You have to be in there gaining discipline. You discipline yourself, learning. It's you in there. You have you don't have that much. You limited what you can learn, but it's enough to, like you said, shock your reality and make you wanna.
Yeah.
You
I was on the inverse of that. I worked in corrections in my early 20s and also did patrol, even as soon as a couple of years ago. But corrections, it's no joke.
Yeah,
like you said, it can make or break you for sure.
And I look at even the guards, because they doing time with you. You might as well say, because you what, 12 hours? 12 hours a day? Like,
you even eating from the same kitchen.
So you is, and after a while, some of the guards, they end up getting what's the word? Like getting sucked in.
Corrupt.
They get,
Yeah, we had one named Sparky because he liked to use the taser a little bit too much.
They get sucked in, and it's just. But it definitely, I'm glad it happened. Honestly, you don't hear a lot of people say that, but I embrace it. It definitely made me who I needed to be.
So for a county commissioner, they right now, if I'm not mistaken, fund the jail. Do you believe that the county should keep funding the jail? Do you think it should be under the sheriff's department, or run it? I know they're going to fund it either way, but should the county really have control of the commission, or should that be under the sheriff in your mind?
I look at everything as two things can be right at one time. Um, it honestly, because I know you have some corrupt officers, which is corrupt kind of much everywhere. Um,
You can be undecided too. It's
you
okay.
know,
You can-
honestly, like I said, I'm pushing for equality. I want to be able to fund what I need to fund, either whether it's jail or whether it's the sheriff department, whatever the case may be. I'm willing to fund it as long as everything's going by the book. As long as um, they are. Cause I mean, I can't tell the sheriff how to run their job, but I don't think it's too much of the funding part that I'm worried about. I just want the community and the law enforcement to, because it's a big gap between the community and law enforcement
Yeah.
because of certain reasons, like you just said, falsely accused or just um, it could be fun. It could be either or. I don't think it's really gonna make a difference whether you funding the jail or if the sheriff funding the jail. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's I don't really think it's a big.
I feel like the sheriff's office, they used to have like control of the jail, I guess, like years ago, and then it went to the county, which I thought was a little weird. I just feel like law enforcement probably could do a better job running it than the county because I feel like the county doesn't have. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Of course, people could offer opinions and research. Like when they built the new jail too, there was people in the public saying, man, why do we waste money on this nice jail? Why are we giving the inmates a luxury hotel and stuff like that? I was like, that's crazy. You don't even know. That thing exploded. People died. Like, it was terrible before. It was a much needed thing for just basic quality of life for people. And just because someone's in jail doesn't mean that they are necessarily a criminal. That's a hold in place until you have a trial. A lot of time people can't bond out. So you can't assume everybody in there is some terrible criminal. And it's just insane to me to treat people like they don't deserve basic amenities while incarcerated. And it's not a luxury hotel at all, but it is an upgrade from what was before, which was absolute garbage.
They are making it very more comfortable for them, and that can invite more people back in.
Yeah.
It's
Rent's high out there.
they got tablets. They got all big screen TV there. Well, it's a long way from what I seen.
Yeah, it used to be a tiny cable television. You'd have fights over the remote.
Yeah, so it was, that kind of situation, that how it was back then made you not want to. Yeah, I don't want to go back in here.
Yeah, there's a fine line between making it more inviting and.
But now it's like it's very inviting to people now. And like I said, yeah, they're gonna be comfortable while they're incarcerated, but incarcerated in general is ain't a good. It's not a fun thing. But
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fucking agree with that. Cause the sheriff, my understanding, the law enforcement have funds put to the side, from like drug busts and stuff like that. And I think they could pretty much do whatever they want to as long as they give like 25% back to the community. But
Something you mentioned, you said you've been feeding the homeless for 14 years. Do you do that through like an organization? Do you have like a group that you volunteer with, or is that something you just kind of do on your own?
I do it on my own. I just get me and my friends, and there's no organization.
Yeah.
It's just something I do out of kind of my heart. It ain't really, I don't really have a motive behind it. It's kind of like something I've been doing, and then it just, it gets stuck to you.
Just kind of called to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
And sometimes it's better to do it without a group, to be honest.
Yeah, we saw that headline not too long ago. What was that, during Christmas time that they arrested somebody feeding the homeless in Pensacola?
Oh, that was Mike. That was Mike Kimbrell. Yeah, that's
So like downtown, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that was totally uncalled for. I think I pro Mike right here always. If he's out there watching, I always support Mike Kimbrell. But so yeah, working in nonprofit space, I was actually a couple of years back when there was like the encampment under the I-10 bridge, I got hired to help with the Northwest Florida Homelessness Reduction Task Force and work through the city of Pensacola to like help with that problem. And there's opinions on if that really helped or not, but I saw through that time and different groups, I won't name them, but like there are groups out there that get taxpayer money to feed the homeless, but I feel like, what are they really doing? And why is it certain groups get the money and certain groups don't get the money? It feels a little sketchy to me, some of that.
It is sketchy to me.
They're not going to like me saying that, but it is what it is. I think that people should just do it out of the kindness of their heart more and sort of, you don't really need a tax write-off to go do the right thing a lot of the time.
One thing that's big on me is honesty and transparent. That means a lot to me. And right now we in a system where people doing things, and like you said, they got a nonprofit and they go write it off and all of that. But was it really at the kindness of your heart? Was it really, something you really wanted to do, or was it a money grab, or it's. I'm big on honesty and transparency. I feel that everybody should know where their money's going.
Sure. So when you're out and about in the community, what do people talk to you about? What would they like to see change? What would you like to do for this constituency?
So when I'm in the community, most of everybody speaks about is infrastructure and roads, housing, you got your business owners that speak about the floodings that goes on around in their area, and like honesty, like transparent. People want to like for instance, I went yesterday and I was over there off of Navy Boulevard. It's a street called Alton, Alton Road, and I talked to everybody on that street, and they was like, "Well, we just got a new road last year. The road looked good, but it was like, but everybody just got a letter saying they finna come tear the road up and tie it in to a drainage system, and they want the residents to pay for it." Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, And everybody on that street is like, they kind of up in a roar about that.
Understandable.
And it's understandable, because why you ain't do it the first time?
Yeah.
Why you ain't do all this and tied it in the first time instead of going back and spending more money to fix a 2-mile road, because it's like a big circle or whatever.
So your district is the west side of Pensacola.
Southwest.
Yes, that's I grew up in that area too. I went to like Sherwood Elementary and grew up on that side, like the Mobile Highway side.
That's like Myrtle Grove area.
What part are you from?
Oh, well, so I'm from the other side of Pensacola, but I stayed in District 2
Okay.
like 25 years. So I stayed in the Mayfair area for like 25 years.
Then you would have went to Sherwood Elementary had you lived there back in the day at the same time I did. That was
well, no, because they had Oakcrest.
Okay. Yeah, my cousin lived in Mayfair, and he went to Sherwood too.
Well, you can go to either one.
Yeah.
Because Mayfair kind of like in the middle of Oakcrest and Sherwood.
So that the education of that side of town has always been an issue because it's not offered the same opportunities as the rest of the county in a lot of ways.
And that's where it goes back to what I was saying. Things are being prioritized. You have certain areas of District 2 that looks fantastic, but then that's basically kind of towards the water. But then when you kind of start coming back towards the Mayfair, the Mortar Grove area, and it's like
There's a lot of poverty.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you got homeless running around crazy. It's like this area, the law enforcement,
They kind of avoid the
it's
area.
kind of like they're avoiding it. Like, and I heard someone that told me they were saying that it keeps the people that doing crime and stuff, it keeps them in one area so they know where they at. And I don't know how true that is. It could, you know.
I guess that's one way to look at it, but that's a
I don't know.
weird approach.
It's a stretch. But that was somebody told me. You know, I just kind of throw it in the back of my mind just in case something else maybe correlate, confirm it. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, they from my own eye, they avoid these areas. You know, and it's like, what we doing here? You know, this is true we talking about, right?
Right. So what is your biggest goal that you hope to achieve if you get elected?
My biggest goal is I want the community to thrive within itself. Thrive within itself, and then start pulling outside revenue. So now you're thriving within and without. You know, probably having like something for tourists to come in District 2. But, you know, I want everybody to be comfortable. That's far, and you know, in our area we have 2 or 3 gas stations on one corner. Every other block is a car wash. You know, that's consuming money from, you know, it's consuming money. It's not really making the community thrive. So one thing I would do, I ain't gonna give the whole plan out, but one thing would be community space center, you know, community centers, you know, because it's multiple things you can use that for. You can use it for job training hub. You can use it as a gathering. You can use that as after school programs. You know, small businesses getting a little script, like not a big strip mall, but they own a little strip where small businesses. You know, I believe a dollar should circulate at least 5 times before it leaves the community. You know, so I would like to, you know, make it to where our youth is not feeling like they got to leave to go somewhere else to thrive.
Yeah.
They can be right here thriving.
It's also very common for younger people, like age 40 and under, to try to get involved in the community and get dissuaded from doing that. When I lived there, I was involved as I could be, and I kept being told, like, oh, wait your turn for this, wait your turn for this. Like, you know, these other people, it's their time. What, you know, that was frustrating for me. So what makes you feel like this is your time? What do you say to those people who say you're still kind of young and you should just wait a little bit?
What I learned, age is a number. It's about the thought process. It's about the mentality. How mature a person is. Because you got a lot of 50, 60-year-olds that's not mature.
Yeah. I've taken them to jail.
You know? So the age is not the problem. I look at it like, what have a candidate been through? What have a candidate seen at his time? Like I said, I come from struggle. I come from that life. So I understand and I connect. A lot of these candidates that we have and have they are so disconnected to the community. And they probably only understand one part of the community, and that might just be just for example, the military. That might be the only people they are able to understand. but it's District 2 is bigger than just the military.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that when a person is elected, the community, you work for the community.
Mm-hmm.
The community is the boss. And the people that been in the office, they don't look at it as that way. They feel like they the boss.
Yeah.
No, the people is the boss. They tell you what they want in this life, whether if I like it or not. This is what they want. I work for them, not the system.
Do you feel like the current commission has not listened as well as they could have?
No, they ain't listen.
Yeah.
I'm straightforward. No, they have not been listening. Because if they had been listening, I probably wouldn't be running.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I probably wouldn't be running.
Yeah.
Like I'm 100% sure I would not been running if things have been going how it's supposed to go. And everybody is being prioritized and not just certain individuals.
Talking about the infrastructure and the growth too is always a hot issue. It's a hot issue here too in our county. But when I lived there, I lived off the last place I lived was off 98, kind of near like the Blue Angel area, which I think is technically District 1. It's like right at the corner it splits because they just like redistricted it a couple of years ago.
It's still district. It's District 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's right there. It's like
It's totally changed from one year of me being there. Like now there's a Whataburger and a Publix and they got like you said, a car wash on every corner. There's a car wash there. There's a Wawa there. Like it is totally, and you keep seeing signs go up that say, you know, we're about to build a subdivision. We're about to build a subdivision. And it seems like they are not leaving a single tree alive, that they're cutting down everything they can to build these D.R. Horton houses or whatever else. So, you know, when does it stop? As a commissioner, what would you do to kind of curtail all of that growth and to make it, you know, more manageable for people? Because, you know, you got to have growth. It's great, but you got to control it a little bit. So what are some things you would do to kind of address that?
Well, you know, everything comes with balance. We got to have balance. I don't, so for instance, you know, like developers and stuff coming down, and they putting a strain on our drainage systems and school and et cetera, et cetera. You know, I feel like they coming down to do all this, they have to contribute to the solution. And without slowing the process down of development, creating a balance, I think we should just build off our resources that we already have. And because you have, like I said, you have these developers coming down and you keep building all these big chain businesses. And after a while, you ain't gonna have no real land. You're just gonna have all these big old big money time business that's an establishment that's here. Like I said, I'm focusing on more of what we have now and building off that and making our small businesses go up more.
Yeah.
Because that's going to make the money circulate within the community.
Right.
You know, instead of having all these, like I said, these big old franchises and stuff here.
What is it like trying to start a small business in Pensacola? It's really difficult here.
It's difficult there too, because a lot of people don't have access to, you know, grants and funding and stuff like that. And I want to put a team together to help small businesses get these fundings, you know, get marketing and this and that and the third to help their business grow, startup plans and stuff. We already know the small businesses are the backbone of the community. So why are we not supporting them? Because if you see small businesses thriving somewhere, that community must be on the way up.
Yeah.
If it ain't already there.
Right, because I started a business trying to roast coffee, and before I even turned any profit, I was already getting delinquent tax notices from the city and the county here.
I think it just keeps they make it hard so these franchise can be able to come and do what they want.
The tracks, yeah.
So example of that, there's a abandoned Checkers on Navy Boulevard right there on the corner, and today it was in the news. It was like, hey, they want to demolish it, and then the property owner was like, wait, there's somebody who wants to buy it and make it a coffee shop, which I think is a good idea if it's a local coffee shop. People in the comments were like, we need a Starbucks, a 7 Brew. I'm like, no, we don't need another Starbucks or 7 Brew. Like, somebody there wants that to make it their own thing, and we need to be supporting those people instead of the chains like you talked about, I think.
I'm telling you, it's going to bring more money in the community, and it's going to help the community thrive instead of putting these franchise here, and it's going to just be sucking up everybody's money.
I think that's another problem too. You said it right there when people started naming off all the name brand coffee chains instead of supporting local. I think it's the mentality of the people too.
Yeah, that's definitely. I go with that. I talked to a person who's like, "Oh, we're getting a Raising Cane."
I haven't seen one local chicken place in a long time, now that I think about it.
Well, Pensacola has a couple of good ones, like Dwarf Chicken and like some other ones that are more like hidden, but that's frustrating when people want Raising Cane's. But it's like there's so many good places here locally that make that.
Yeah, and they not, they not put on the front for when y'all the backbone. So we need to be pouring into our local businesses. We need to be helping them thrive, because for long, Pensacola gonna be getting built up so much to people gonna be getting pushed back towards Cantonment way or something. Because as you putting these establishments up and these infrastructures and these new improvements in these neighborhoods, that's making people, taxes go up, and that's another issue.
Yeah.
That's just another issue that, I'll say I support smart economic development, and a strong accountability.
So you are running as a Democrat, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have a primary, or are you the only one in that primary?
I'm the only one.
So you're going to go to the general, which is in November, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What would you tell a Republican who maybe doesn't like their Republican choice for commissioner of why they should vote for you, a Democrat, over whoever the Republican is in the general, or an undecided independent person?
Well, if I answer that, I'm just give you a little story. So when I canvass every day, and I do my petitions and stuff, and a lot of my petitions come from Republicans, and when I talk to them, they understand that they're not talking to just a Democrat. They understand that they're talking to a person that understands their situation. They talking to a person that been on the other side of things. So I know exactly what's going on in my community. I'm not hiding behind signs and posters. I'm out here every day knocking on doors and spending 10 to 15 minutes talking. So when it comes to Republicans, I think they're gonna love me. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think they're gonna love me because I'm actually for the people. I really don't see the Democrat, the NPA, the Republican. I don't see all that division. When I talk to Republicans and Democrats and everybody, NPAs, we all crying and complain about the same situations. It may be about 90% of that we all complaining about it. It's probably about 10% of that makes us different.
Yeah, when you were talking about earlier about the general political atmosphere of the country, I don't think that there's been a better time in the last at least 20 years for people to be able to reach across the aisle and appeal human to human instead of seeing party to party.
And that's what I'm showing my campaign. As far as my campaign, I'm showing everybody this is grassroots over here. So My donations, my money, it's coming from the people. I don't got no big wigs behind me. I don't want the big wigs behind me. Because I know if I take their money, they gonna try to twist my arm some kind of way. And I ain't going for it.
If you look at the fundraisers, they're not gonna like me saying this either, of
Hey, I
who's
seen it.
hosting,
I
who's
seen it.
hosting these fundraisers, it's almost all developers, real estate people,
Yeah.
and then, downtown really wealthy business owners. And the question is, are you gonna fall for the media or the amount of signs or the amount of money pushing a person who's backed by very wealthy people that own a lot of real estate, or are you gonna, vote for somebody else? So that's up to people to decide, and I think you have a task in front of you trying to inform people of that sometimes. But always people might want to look into following the money.
Yes. Yeah, people being bagged by the big wigs. You gotta understand that these people are not giving you money just because they like you. You gotta understand that.
Yeah.
They want something.
It's something they want. Everybody has something they want out of this, especially when it comes to giving out money.
For sure.
It's not rocket science. Pretty much common sense. Now, yeah, you may have people that want to see you win, but in this political game, I highly doubt that. Oh, they just wanted to see you win. It's a catch-22 with it, and like I said, what you see is what you're getting right now, and it's gonna get bigger. It's gonna grow, and after May, you're gonna see me. You're gonna see me. I'm gonna turn up, and I'm gonna be in everybody's face. And I want you to know who I am as a person, not because I'm a Democrat, not or whatever. I want you to know I'm for the people. At the end of the day, and all the funny business going on. One of my things is I'm big on transparent and honesty. So you're gonna know where your tax dollars, your money's going. I'm talking about every cent. And if you're gonna, for instance, redo a street and tear the street up and tie it into a drain, at least tell these people why you're doing it. Don't just send them a letter and like, yeah, you're gonna pay for this, that, and the third, because we're gonna go do this and that.
I've never even heard of such a
I
thing.
never heard of it, but I heard it yesterday.
That's wild.
Like literally, like I can, and I love that neighborhood over there because they won't change. Everybody wants change. Everybody tired of this mess that's going on. People filling their pockets up and leaving everybody else out to dry. You, man, when you the commissioner, you supposed to take care of everybody. You supposed to make sure everybody okay. At least.
Yeah, and especially in District 2, which I think is probably the
worst
most
district.
It's one of the most diverse in terms of economics and even the environment too. The different bodies of water, like it really encompasses so much. So, I hope people think, do you want somebody who represents the interest of every little neighborhood in this district and can, talk to every single kind of person? Or do you want somebody that might be just for more downtown or more, well-to-do areas? So it's something to keep in mind for the voter.
And I'm in every part of District 2, from the underserved areas to the good areas. I'm there. Like I am there. How you doing? Is there anything that's concerning you about your neighborhood? Blah, 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 blah. And just give them a list, And I talk to them. I just want to see what their concerns is. And everybody have the same concerns. Infrastructure, housing, small business, and honesty. And their kids, the youth.
Yeah.
That's, but I put the youth within the infrastructure. But everybody wants, and that's just, and those few things is basically overall life cycle. If we can tack these things right here, you'll see a way better quality of life for everybody. You will see a district that actually thrives and not things start getting fixed on around election time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you work every day. With them 4 years of your term, you work every day. You go 100% every day. Don't go 25. You supposed to go every day 100% for the people.
Absolutely.
And we haven't seen that in a long time. If we ever have.
hmm So where can people find more about you online? How can they contribute? How can they learn more about everything that you stand for?
So you can go on social media, Facebook, Mathious Robinson. It's on all platforms. You can go to my website, voteforrobinson.com. You have, the links to send donations, selling shirts, giving you a brief bio who I am. You can reach out to me. I believe my number is on there as well. You can give me a call. I I take calls all throughout the night. I don't sleep when it comes to this stuff. Like literally, I don't sleep. I'm up all night figuring out what what I can fit these missing puzzle pieces in to make my community better. Because I'm tired of seeing my neighbors crying and complaining. I'm tired of complaining. So this is where we at with it now. I'm young, it's fresh energy, and I know my community better than the back of my hand. So, and it's not hard for me to connect with people. It's not like that's my least worries. I go to any neighborhood and I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna show I'm earning my votes. Not paying for my votes, I'm earning my votes. That's where we at.
Well, thank you for stepping up and doing this.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hope more people aren't afraid to jump into things like this and just take a risk.
I feel like they not. I feel like I'm putting the footsteps in the sand for everybody to come, the young to come behind and be more involved. This year, I know this is a very, very different year because you have a lot of candidates that's young running right now. Like a lot of candidates young. They stepping up and they from all different walks of life. We all stepping up because we believe in Pensacola. We got a lot of potential. We got a lot of talent, and we not using none of it.
hmm
We covering it up with dirt and letting people come in and do what they feel. That's not right. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. And everybody, it's Mathious Robinson. You can vote for him in November for your Escambia County general election for county commissioner. Thank you for coming.
Thanks so much for inviting me.